Stop forcing, start flowing. The Stoic art of letting go. Stoic bloom. Have you ever tried to force something only to watch it slip further away the harder you held on? A relationship, a plan, an outcome, and despite all your efforts, the universe simply said, "Not now." What if the more you force, the further you drift from what's meant for you? The Stoics believe that forcing isn't strength, it's resistance to nature. And when you resist nature, you suffer. In this video, we'll explore how letting go isn't giving up, but aligning with something more intelligent than your expectations. Because sometimes peace isn't found in pushing harder, but in pulling back. Part 1, control what you can, accept what you can't imagine being stuck in traffic. You're late, the light turns red again. You grip the wheel tighter. Your jaw clenches, and yet nothing changes. The cars don't move faster. Time doesn't bend for your frustration. This is life's way of whispering. You don't control this. Epictetus said it best. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. The wise man doesn't try to bend the world to his will. He aligns his will with what the world offers. You control your thoughts, your reactions, your next breath. You don't control the weather, other people, or how fast that email reply comes. When we confuse those two realms, we suffer. We push against what won't budge instead of focusing on what we can shape, ourselves. Letting go doesn't mean becoming passive. It means redirecting your energy from external obsession to internal mastery. Try this. The next time something doesn't go your way, ask yourself, do I control this? If the answer is no, step back, breathe, reclaim your power, not by forcing, but by releasing. If you've ever yelled at your Wi-Fi, argued with a delay, or wrestled life like it owes you something, it might be time to flow, not fight. Share this video with someone who treats life like a wrestling match. Subscribe to Stoic Bloom for weekly reminders that peace isn't passive, it's practiced. Drop a comment. What's one thing you're finally done trying to control? Stoic Bloom, power begins where forcing ends. Part 2, the illusion of force. You can't push a river upstream. And yet, that's exactly what we do. Mentally, emotionally, even spiritually. We try to make people stay who clearly want to leave. We try to make success come faster than it's meant to. We try to squeeze life into our schedule like it's a box we can tape shut. But here's the Stoic truth. The more you force, the more resistance you create. Seneca wrote, "Fate leads the willing but drags the unwilling." When you resist the flow of reality, you don't stop it. You just exhaust yourself trying. Think of life like a bow and arrow. The harder you pull in the wrong direction, the more unstable your aim becomes. But if you align the shot, gently, patiently, the arrow flies true. Force disrupts alignment. Sometimes we confuse action with progress. But action born from fear, control, or desperation is not progress. It's panic dressed as productivity. The Stoic doesn't abandon action. He removes aggression from action. He acts with purpose, not pressure. He shows up fully but lets go of the outcome. So next time you feel the urge to push harder, ask yourself, is this true strength or just fear in disguise? Stoic bloom. What flows, grows. What's forced, breaks. Part 3, let go of attachment. Attachment isn't love. It's fear disguised as possession. The tighter you grip, the more things slip through your fingers. Like sand, like time, like people. The Stoics didn't believe in detachment from life. They believed in non-attachment to outcomes. Epictetus put it plainly, don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and your life will go smoothly. That doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. You can love someone without needing them to act a certain way. You can work hard without demanding a specific reward. You can show up fully and still let go of how it all plays out. Try holding your goals like an open palm, not a clenched fist. When you do, things can land. And if they must go, they go without tearing you apart. Attachment whispers, I need this to be okay. Non-attachment replies, I'll be okay no matter what. And that shift from needing to choosing is where your power begins. If you've ever held on too tight and felt it slip anyway, this one's for you. Share this video with someone still chasing closure and subscribe to Stoic Bloom if you're learning to care deeply without gripping desperately. Drop a comment below. What's one thing you have released and felt lighter for it? Stoic Bloom. Let go. What's yours doesn't need to be first. Part 4. Nature has its own timing. A tree does not rush its blooming. The moon does not apologize for waning. And yet we humans insist on speeding up everything. Success, healing, love, clarity. We want answers now. Results now. Peace now. But life, like nature, has its own rhythm. And wisdom comes from moving with it, not against it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, what stands in the way becomes the way. But how often do we treat life's pauses as problems, instead of invitations to slow down and realign? You don't plant a seed and scream at it to grow. You water it. You tend the soil. You trust that the process, invisible as it may be, is working beneath the surface. The Stoic walks with nature, not ahead of it. He doesn't panic when things take time. He understands that there is a season for action and a season for patience. When things stall, ask, is this a block or a season? Am I stuck, or am I simply being shaped slowly? Let go of your timeline. Trust life's tempo, because what's forced too soon often fails too early. Stoic Bloom. Nature doesn't rush. Neither should you. Part 5. Action without force. True action doesn't come from a place of desperation. It comes from a place of clarity. We're often taught that hustle is the path to success, more effort, more time, more sacrifice. But the Stoics knew better. They understood that force isn't the key to progress. Alignment is wise. Seneca said, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. When you act out of scarcity, chasing more for the sake of it, you'll only create more stress, more exhaustion, and more frustration. But when you act from a place of abundance, when you trust that you already have what you need, you move with ease. The Stoic doesn't rush. He doesn't force. He doesn't try to bend the world to his will. He flows with it. Imagine an archer. He doesn't pull the bow with all his might. He aligns the arrow, steadies his hand, and lets it fly. The tension isn't in the struggle, it's in the precision of the aim. This is how Stoic action works. You don't push against the wind, you adjust your sails to it. So the next time you feel yourself pushing harder than necessary, take a step back. Ask, am I forcing this, or am I simply aligning with what is already here? If you've ever felt exhausted from trying to force results, this is your sign to pause and recalibrate. Share this video with someone who's constantly hustling, yet always feels stuck. Subscribe to Stoic Bloom for weekly wisdom on taking action without overexertion. Drop a comment. What area of your life do you need to stop forcing and start flowing? Stoic Bloom. Force exhausts, alignment empowers. Part 6. Inner peace comes from surrender. Most people misunderstand surrender. They think it means weakness, giving up, backing down, doing nothing. But to the Stoics, surrender isn't collapse, it's clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. He didn't mean you become passive. He meant you reclaim your energy from things that never belonged to you in the first place. Surrender doesn't mean stop trying. It means stop trying to control what was never yours to hold. You can still act, still strive, still care and moss, but you no longer wrap your identity in the outcome. You let go of the need to win. You let go of the need to be right. You let go of the need to force life to match your blueprint. And when you let go, something shifts. Your mind softens. Your chest opens. The world feels less like a battlefield and more like a river you can finally float down. This is where inner peace begins, not with more control, but with wish surrender. Not surrender to fear, surrender to reality. Stoic bloom, peace doesn't come from power, it comes from permission to let go. Part 7, embrace uncertainty as opportunity. We all crave certainty. It feels safe, predictable, solid. But the Stoics saw something else in uncertainty, freedom. Epictetus reminded us, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. When you cling to certainty, you stop being curious. You stop growing. You trade discovery for control and lose both in the process. Uncertainty is not your enemy, it's your edge. Think of the most meaningful moments in your life. How many of them came with a clear plan? How many arrived exactly as you expected? The truth is, most of life's beauty lives in the unscripted. The job you didn't plan for, the person you met by accident, the version of yourself that emerged not from control, but from chaos navigated with grace. Letting go of control doesn't mean living recklessly. It means showing up fully, without demanding a guarantee. When you lean into uncertainty, you stop bracing for impact. You start dancing with what is. If you're tired of overthinking every outcome, share this video with someone stuck in what-if mode. Subscribe to Stoic Bloom for weekly wisdom on how to move with life, not ahead of it. Drop a comment below. What's one uncertainty you're learning to welcome instead of fear? Stoic Bloom. Uncertainty isn't the enemy, it's the entrance to everything new. Part 8, final. You were never meant to force your way through life. The Stoics knew what is meant for you flows, not when you demand it, but when you are ready for it. Control what you can. Let go of what you can't. Move with nature, not in defiance of it. And when resistance shows up, remember it's not always a wall to break through. Sometimes it's a signal to pause, to listen, to trust. Letting go is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's the ability to say, I will act with discipline, but I will not grasp with desperation. This is the art of Stoic surrender, not to give up, but to grow beyond control. And if today's message helped realign your perspective, I invite you to take a quiet step deeper into this journey. Subscribe to Stoic Bloom, not to chase inspiration, but to build inner stability, one video at a time. Share this message with someone who's trying too hard to hold together something they need to release. Like this video if you've ever forced something and watched it slip anyway. Leave a comment. What's one thing you've stopped forcing and what opened up instead? This isn't the end of your journey. It's the moment you stopped fighting the current and started flowing with it. Let go, align, flow forward. Subscribe to Stoic Bloom.